Roger here, and I'm going to show you a very cool tool that you can use to identify colors on the screen, and then I'll use it to show you how to create a gradient on a HTML web page. So the tool is called Instant Eyedropper. It's at instant-eyedropper.com, and down here you'll see that there's an installable version and then a portable version in case you don't want to keep it installed on your computer. You can just run it when you need it that way. So I'm going to use this little wheel icon down here, which is the portable version of this thing. Now when I click this, when I double click it to run it, you'll see it actually showed up down here on my system tray. Now if it didn't show up there, you might have to use this little caret here to open this window up and see it. Whoops, I always hate when that thing's there. I understand it's going away in Windows 11, which I'm glad for because I'm constantly running my mouse over that thing. So you'll see it down here in the system tray. Now in order to use this, we're going to just click on that, but first I'm going to go to this page and look at this gradient. This is just one I found on the internet, and I want to more or less reproduce this gradient in my page, which looks like this. Okay, so we're going to reproduce that gradient here. So let's start here by bringing up this gradient, and now I'm going to grab the colors. So I'm going to click this little up arrow and click the icon for Instant Eyedropper, and you'll see that those numbers come right up, and I can identify these numbers for use in my HTML. Now let's say that I want to use RGB instead, so I'm just going to click this thing and I'm going to go back down, and this time I'm going to right click that Instant Eyedropper icon and I'll choose RGB. Now when I click it, I get the RGB numbers. So I had to right click that icon to do that. Now I do notice that that last number is cut off a little bit. I think it says 219 or 215. It looks like a 9, but that's okay because when I click this thing, I automatically capture that or copy it onto the clipboard. So I'm just going to grab way up here in this upper corner, and I'm going to kind of grab that color right there by clicking this icon, or by clicking left clicking, excuse me, the mouse. And there it is, it's on my clipboard. So let's add that here. Let's go RGB, and I'll add my 2 parentheses, and I'm just going to paste that value in here. In this case, I used my Control V on my Windows machine to do that. All right. I want the one in the middle now. This is a little bit darker in the middle. It doesn't just go from this to this, but it darkens. So I'm going to grab this again, and let's get this middle value. Yeah, it's about the darkest. So I'm just going to grab that value, and we'll put the RGB, and we'll paste those values in. Another comma, if I can get it in the right place. And now let's get this lower value here. Right down here in this corner. I'll click that, and I will put in here RGB, and I'll paste that value in there. Now let's take a look and see what our gradient looks like when we're all done. And it looks like it's not working. Why is it not working here? Oh, I have a double close. There we go. That looks a little bit better, except it doesn't look like this thing over here, does it? Because this has a slant right here. So let's put a certain number of degrees here at the beginning. And so I need to experiment a little bit. I'm just going to put, say, 100 degrees slant there. And I'll put my comma in. And let's see what happens. Well, that's a little bit better. It's still kind of up and down, though. Let me make that 130 degrees there. Now we're starting to get some slant. I think I'll go up to about 140. And let's compare these and see. I don't have them both up at the same time. If I pull that out, there we go. that's not too bad. I have it pretty close. This one in the center here looks a little bit lighter, maybe. And I could lighten that up if I wanted to by making the center one maybe an RGBA value and then putting in an additional value here of, let's say, 0.8. And let's see what that looks like. That's a little bit closer. So I have a fairly good representation now of this gradient on my web page. So Instant Eyedropper, I hope you enjoy it.